What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today I want to share with y'all my thoughts on Pusha T's top 3 coke rappers of all time and discuss a little bit about the origins of coke rap and highlight some rappers who have been instrumental in that subgenre. But first, make sure to smash up the like button and please subscribe. So, as someone who likes street rap, but is not just strictly limited to that lane, as I like many different types of hip hop, I somewhat have difficulty loving the term coke rap to begin with, because I feel it can put an artist in a box artistically and creatively. Just like actors who are only known for playing a certain role every time, they get typecast. Think of the actors who only play in mob movies. You know the faces I'm talking about. Now, obviously, coke rap is a subgenre of mafioso rap, which in itself is a component of just overall gangster rap, but you can really fit it under the umbrella of street rap. The term coke rap itself is relatively new, as it wasn't used to describe drug dealing rap back in the 80s, 90s, or even early 2000s. That style of lyricism was either labeled gangster rap or mafioso rap. It was West Coast gangster rap if you were from California, East Coast gangster rap or reality rap if you were repping NYC or the East Coast, and dirty South rap, early trap if you were coming out the South. So really the sounds and styles of drug dealing or street rap differed according to the region and the specific era that we're talking about. But now I just wanted to highlight some artists who should get recognized or acknowledged for their impact on this subgenre from the 80s till now. So on the West Coast in the late 80s, you had artists like Eazy-E and Ice-T talking about selling coke and doing crimes to get paid. On the East Coast, you had Schoolie D and Kool G Rap. Now, Kool G Rap is a pioneer of many things. For one, multi-syllabic rap, East Coast gangster rap, and mafioso rap. G Rap is pretty much the godfather of this whole subgenre if you really want to go there. When we discuss mafioso rap, which flourished in the mid to late 90s, you had the iconic duo of Ray and Ghost with the Purple Tape, which was the street Bible for folks during the 90s. The vivid coke dealing tales from Ray and Ghost's first few projects would go on to inspire Pusha T and many celebrated artists today. You had Biggie with his cinematic street stories as well, and of course, his drug dealing anthem, 10 Crack Commandments. Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt is also an important mafioso album in which Jay talked about cocaine in abundance. So deep in the game, fiends could catch a freeze off my kneecap. Could y'all believe that? Kool G Rap also dominated in the 90s with his epic crime sagas. You had Nas's It Was Written, another influential mafioso masterpiece which gave birth to the firm. Also, Mobb Deep's Hell on Earth. Aside from the lyrics, just recall Hell on Earth's inside cover art with the briefcases and the coke on the table. You could even say Capone and Noriega, The War Report, Tragedy Gaddafi, Smooth the Hustler, and Fat Joe were all instrumental in adding on to this subgenre. Down south, you had the iconic duo of UGK with their anthems like Pocket Full of Stones, Feds in Town, and of course their 1996 classic Riding Dirty. Scarface, way back in 89, was rapping, I started small time, dope game, cocaine, pushing rocks on the block, I'm never broke, man. Some could even argue that Scarface's crime stories in the early 90s were just as detailed and movie-like as Kool G Rap's. Also, Master P, whose whole aesthetic was based on being the ice cream man. Later, Jeezy the Snowman would bless the streets with a new Bible for the 2000s with Thug Motivation 101. Gucci Mane also with his talk of bricks and trap houses. You could even throw T.I. into the mix. In addition, Yo Gotti doesn't get enough credit for all the coke dealing references in his songs. If we focus on the 2000s strictly, that's when the clips really made a name for themselves as premier coke rappers. You also had Shine, whose lyrics were flooded with coke talk and mafioso imagery. Cameron and Jewels also had their fair share of rapping about that white girl, and how can we forget Rick Ross with his whole drug lord aesthetic? Which brings us to the modern day era of coke rap, where Pusha T is still king in that subgenre. As a veteran MC, he is still very much the face of coke rap. You would have to throw all members of Griselda in there as well, especially Benny and Westside Gunn. Benny could go bar for bar with Pusha when it comes to the yayo talk. We should probably give Rock Marciano some credit as well, even though his subject matter isn't strictly confined to selling drugs. You would have to add Rome Streets, as well as Freddie Gibbs, Bodie James, Riggs of the Cloth, Aldo, 38 Special, and one of the rising stars in the coke rapping lane, Stove God Cook. So I'm sure I left some names out, but I just wanted to highlight how this subgenre of street rap is just so damn vast, and it gets tricky trying to determine what is coke rap and what is gangster rap, as it has seen quite the evolution over the years. But shifting now into Pusha T's list, he had Jay-Z, Jeezy, and himself as the top 3 coke rappers of all time, and I really don't have any issues with the list. Obviously, a bulk of Jay-Z's lyricism was based on hustling. I mean, he's the guy who lost 92 bricks and got it all back in a week just because of his astute drug dealing acumen. He is also the guy who came into the rap game with 100 grand worth of street money. I know that was inspiring for a lot of people, myself being included at the time. Now, Pusha T is obviously going to pick himself given his braggadocious and bold nature as an MC, and he has proven himself to be elite at what he does, as his face is forever etched in the Mount Rushmore of drug rap. As far as Jeezy goes, I think he earned the title as well, especially if you consider the impact of Thug Motivation, the Snowman t-shirts, the Stop Snitching t-shirts, which I owned and even wore to a college class or two. Look, that album played a major role in inspiring young men to make money, even if the ways to make that money weren't the most positive. But let me know in the comment section your thoughts on his list. I personally think it should have been his top 5 to 10. If it had been more than 3, do you think that Ray and Ghost and Kool G Rap should have made the list? I definitely think so. So yeah, at the end of the day, I don't necessarily love titles that box rappers in, as there are certainly many different layers to the aforementioned artists. Some are much more than coke rappers or gangster rappers, and that made me think about what Conway said on his last album, So Much More. But there are others who are perfectly content on staying in their lane and making coke-centered rap. But it's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. One.